Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, today is the fourth lecture in the health series talk. Inshallah, we will be talking about high blood pressure today. It is seen that there are four things that we see in our daily life. One is a haphazard life that we are living. Whatever we feel like we are doing, there is no self control, and this is becoming a big problem of our life, that we're living a life which is completely away from the normal way, and it's a very distorted way. And for that we have to make regular exercise. We have to be careful about, we cannot overlook these aspects of our life where we are living a haphazard life. We are unfortunately not looking at the bigger problems due to lack of self control and so on. Many As we use the body will become in a better state through regular exercise. And unfortunately, man does not complete his sleep enough at night, and as a result medical complications begin. Sometimes the heart is filled with grief and regrets, and this adds to the problem as well. We have to also take care of our medical parameters, take care of the organs. Every 6 months, there should be a routine test which looks at these different aspects inside the body. And for that reason, today the topic of discussion will be high blood pressure. It is said that high blood pressure is the mother of all diseases, and in our day and age, every man should have a blood pressure machine kept at his home. It should not cost a lot, uh, but this is important, and we should all have one at our place. All diseases begin because of blood pressure, and sometimes when we overlook it, these problems begin. High blood pressure is the leading cause in heart attacks, in paralysis, strokes, and so on. When somebody has high blood pressure, his mind becomes erratic. He gets frustrated in the way he talks, and there's certain uncomfortable thing about his behavior. Sometimes he starts reflecting poor behavior, can be aggressive. There is stress and tension which gets built in his body, and which is bad. The mind gets stressed, and as a result, the systolic blood pressure increases, which is the higher one. The And sometimes when there is family related problems and tensions in the body, then it's the heart which gets sad, and the diastolic as a result can be higher. So it is generally noted that if you have mind related tensions, then the systolic would be higher, and if you have heart related tensions, it will be the diastolic which will be affected. But of course, both of them are interconnected. When the when the mind related tension begins, you have to learn to switch off, and that will help you with the systolic blood pressure, inshallah. And of course, like you mentioned, both of them are interrelated. So of course you cannot isolate them. People who have high blood pressure should avoid eating fish, meat, eggs, and this must be, if you can leave it, that would be a better decision for your health, inshallah. You should try and eat more light food, more simple food, like people are served in the hospital. Prefer a vegetarian diet, because if your diet is spoiled, then this is an issue. Alkaline diet is something which should be preferred, and we had sent that in the previous lecture. Try to avoid taking salt, and leave tobacco, smoking, these habits, and try to get silence in your life. Try to practice restraint and silence. 8 hours of sleep is important. Inshallah, this will help you. And 40 minutes of exercise 4 to 5 days a week, inshallah, this is also beneficial, because when you combine walking and exercise along with doing along with restrictions in terms of the food and so on, this will help you. And cardiovascular fitness would involve doing deep breathing, which would help in the uptake of oxygen in the lungs and the mind. um, for both the organs, the uptake would increase, which would help you as well, inshallah. And regularly try to get some massage of the head and the feet. When in a state of tension, you should try and not think too much, because if you do so, it will not become normal. Because if you don't control how you're thinking, how you're talking, your blood pressure is not going to come in control. And during stressful situations, make sadaqah. Inshallah, that will bring Allah's rahmah, and you must make read the Sharif, inshallah, and make Baba, make istighfar, inshallah. If the sins are forgiven, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from Allah there will be a lot of rahmah, and there will be peace and comfort, and inshallah. So don't try to break the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and don't try to go against nature in terms of your daily habits. So you have to be careful about that. Regarding blood pressure medicines, don't stop them suddenly, because and sometimes people even forget it, and as a result, blood pressure goes high, and major disasters happen. BP should not be higher than 120/80. That is the recommended rate. And if for some reason, if it does go high, don't panic, inshallah, because we, as you know, we need to have a stronger iman that just because the blood pressure is high, something major is going to happen. No, don't let the mind surface too many thoughts, because then it's going to just add more pressure on the mind. Try to get more comfortable. Try to get at peace. Then inshallah, this will not bother you. But do not overlook it, because blood pressure does cause paralysis, and it is a big problem around the world. So you have to be focused towards it. And if you have a blood pressure patient around you, don't listen to them too much, because if you ask them to go to the doctor, they'll say no. If you ask them to do something, they'll say no, I'm not going to do it. So don't listen to them too much, because you can't trust their thinking. And sometimes there are bigger issues that happen. There are bigger decisions that need to be taken, and unfortunately, they may not support you. The family will ask the patient to go to the hospital. He's going to say no. One of my father's friend, despite my father asking him to go to the doctor and get himself checked, he just wouldn't go, and unfortunately, there were sufferings and so on. Because they usually not, maybe they're just not scared of the consequences that will come. Uh, Take your doctor's advice seriously. Take your medicines accordingly, as has been recommended. Sometimes Alprax 0.25 mg is beneficial, but of course, these are medical. This comes within the jurisdiction of doctors, and should be taken advice only from them. If your sleep is not good, then your BP will not be normal, because the mind and the heart's comfort is a big thing in this matter. And you must have a good relationship with the doctor, and time to time you should get these things checked. Time to time, get your cholesterol checked, your blood pressure checked, and please know that the brain is a very complex organ, and it's the most important organ. So just by the way, we use it to think, to learn, for all the emotions, to blink, breathe, for your breathing, heartbeat, and so on. It has a big role. But still, if the blood pressure is slightly high, we'll still tell you a few more things that you can do, inshallah, and will be helpful. like we already said, that it's that blood pressure is the mother of all diseases. So one small thing is, if your blood pressure goes a little high, try to detach the mind from all things. Inshallah, your blood pressure will become normal. And get ample rest and sleep. Follow your diet. Continue with your with your medications. Inshallah, will get better. Keep your heart towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the heart is towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will send his noor, his comfort, and inshallah, this is the cure for all diseases. There will be rahmah and so on. And try to analyze less. Try to ignore the waswasa. Try to practice the sunnah, and try to build a more peaceful environment around you, a more relaxed environment, and this will help you. Because when the blood pressure is high, the mind cannot think correctly, and it starts to think in a very haphazard way, and the wasawis enters the mind, and the mind becomes out of control, and this is basically called a blood pressure event. So you have to, inshallah, make tawbah istighfar, and this will help it. But please, as a request, we all should not consider blood pressure um to be a small problem, because many destructions as a result of this happen. Keep your food light. Keep your make your diet and your exercise an important matter, and inshallah, follow the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then this will be beneficial for you to be able to take care and maintain good health. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.